Hello, this is Brandon Ivey with Shopping Sherlock, and this is a very, very interesting story. If you are an entrepreneur, a CEO, a business owner, this is a story that you definitely want to make yourself familiar with. This is what's called, how to overcome failures and setbacks and have success. Anytime you see of a huge success story like the company Alibaba, you've got to know that they went through some things that shaped where they are today, and there were some times where they probably weren't going to make it, and how they overcome. And this is a very good story. Normally I don't do videos on articles this long, but I want to walk through this because I think that this is historic, and I want to capture this moment because there's going to be movies made about this in the next couple of years. So this is an article on BusinessInsider.com. And it's called The Incredible Story of How Alibaba Defeated eBay and Became an Internet Superstar. Now, Alibaba, the enormous Chinese e-commerce company, is expected to begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange this Friday. But one of the most crucial time periods in the company's history came in the early 2000s, when the still new Alibaba battled out with the behemoth eBay to gain e-commerce dominance in China. Porter Erisman, in his incredible documentary, Crocodile in the Yangtze, captures the thrilling rise of the company through real footage and photos. Erisman worked there throughout its critical years, though he had left the company by the time he started making the documentary. The entire film is entertaining, suspenseful, and more than worth the watch, but Erisman gave us permission to use scenes from his film to tell the story of Alibaba's rise as he saw it through his own eyes. Let's go through these slides. 58 important slides here. This is a quote from founder Jack Ma, has become emblematic of the half-decade battle between eBay and Alibaba. eBay is a shark in the ocean. We are a crocodile in the Yangtze River. If we fight in the ocean, we will lose. But if we fight in the river, we will win. Jack Ma, CEO, Alibaba. Before you can understand Alibaba's rise to greatness, it's important to understand a few things about Ma. Every morning for 9 years, a young Jack would go to a local hotel in his home of Hangzhou, China, to befriend foreign tourists and learn English. Self-taught man. He eventually became an English teacher, making about $12 a month at a local university. During China's export boom, he started a translation company. In 1995, he traveled to the U.S. to do a translation project. Although the project fizzled out, Ma's time in the U.S. still played an important role. He discovered the Internet. There was no Chinese content online at that time, and Ma started Chinese first internet company called China Pages. He tried to get Chinese government excited about the internet as well. The government wasn't interested. Customers weren't interested. 1995 was too early for an internet company in China. Sometimes, you have ideas, you're ahead of your time, and you got to be patient. Ma was working in the e-commerce division of a government ministry when the 1999 internet bubble hit Wall Street. He decided to give his plan for an internet business another shot. He gathered 17 friends into his apartment, and they built their own online business marketplace, calling it Alibaba. 17 friends in an apartment. From the very beginning, Ma positioned it as a global website and predicted it would join the ranks of U.S. tech titans. He says, our competitors are not in China, but in America's Silicon Valley. Alibaba.com, which let exporters post product listings that buyers could browse, started to attract members from all around the world. By October 1999, the company raised $5 million from Goldman Sachs and $20 million from SoftBank. So he's got $25 million in the bank account. So from where he came from earning $12 a month to now having $25 to work with, you know, most people would think, yeah, that's a great success. Retire, go home, sell your company, go live on a beach somewhere. But no. Ma wanted to take the company public by 2002. So the goal is Alibaba will IPO in 2002. That's the goal. This is 1999. His goal was 2002. At the time, that didn't seem like a stretch. The buzz about Alibaba was beginning to grow. The company started getting more press. Reporters called the scrappy animated Ma Crazy Jack. Things were looking good. But then NASDAQ crashed. Guys, remember that? Investors dump technology stocks. Big sell-off indicates bubble has popped. Ma set off on a media tour in London and tried to combat the increasingly skeptical attitude people had toward internet companies at the time. In July 2000, Forbes put him on the cover of the magazine. He was the first mainland Chinese entrepreneur to ever appear on its cover. High off its own success, the company started expanding quickly. Ma moved the engineering and production aspects of its English site to Silicon Valley. They're starting to rise. But there's always that big but. Alibaba hadn't made any revenue yet and was burning through cash. So Ma decided to close the U.S. office, laying off dozens of employees. In 2001, Alibaba had to lay off the rest of its international staff too. Business Week said at the time, Alibaba's magic carpet is losing altitude. They called it the hype hangover. Hype. Why is vision always called hype? Humbled, Alibaba hired a COO and doubled down on its mission and values. Ma realized that people would pay hefty sums to have their product listings appear higher in search and launched a paid service. So here's what up to this point, Alibaba had some failures, some success, but a whole lot of failures that at any given moment could have knocked any normal company, out of the box. And he kept going, kept reinventing himself, kept reinventing the company. Alibaba went on a roadshow convincing business owners all over China to start using the internet. So I like this concept here because at the time, nobody believed that the internet could be profitable in any kind of way. So Jack Ma had to go into education mode. He had to teach this. He had to show and convince what the power of the internet's going to be. People didn't see his vision up front. By the end of the year, more than 5 years after launch, Alibaba officially became profitable. 5 years. Again, it amazed me about so-called leaders in network marketing companies who expect if they don't get rich in their first 30 to 60 days, they quit and want to jump on something else. They don't understand the concept of you have to build it. You've got to go through the process. There is no easy way out. There is no shortcut. There will be struggles. There will be down times. That's what defines you. That's what defines your culture. That's how you learn. 5 years, Alibaba officially becomes profitable. So employees celebrated by going crazy with silly string. Everything was on the right track until disaster struck. What? They've already gone through some disasters, right? Here they go again. Everything was on the right track. They were profitable. And then disaster struck. In 2002, an Alibaba employee was diagnosed with the deadly virus SARS, and the whole staff had to be quarantined. Employees lugged computers back to their apartments so that the company could remain up and running. Are you kidding me? Any company could have shut down at that point, closed its doors. It's getting too hard. It's too difficult. No, this is called dedication. This is commitment. They lugged their computers to their apartment so that the company could remain up and running. Meanwhile, enters David. eBay's presence in China was growing fast. It had bought a stake in EachNet, a Chinese eBay clone, and Ma knew it would start stealing his customers. A small team snuck off to the apartment where Alibaba was founded to start creating Taobao. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll say Taobao or Taobao. Alibaba's consumer-to-consumer sales site. They did handstands on breaks to keep their energy levels going. You think these guys had a 9-to-5 mentality? No, they had an 8-to-faint mentality. We're going to keep going until the job gets done. This is called consistency. This is called showing up. Most people can't even show up. The launch of Taobao coincided almost exactly with eBay's decision to buy the rest of each.net and invest $150 million into the business. Okay, Jack Ma started off with $25 million he raised. He burned through that cash. 5 years before they began to make a profit. And in comes eBay with $150 million. Any normal company said, let's close the doors. We can't compete with that. See what happens here. eBay CEO Meg Whitman, with a whole lot of cash behind her, was confident in the company's future e-commerce dominance of China. Through its investment, it controlled at least 85% of the market. 85%. In response, Alibaba invested $1 million. Now, I don't know the conversion rate. I don't know what 1 million yuan is as far as dollar amounts, but he invested 1 million yuan into Taobao. Ma said that Taobao would be better suited to the Chinese market than eBay's Chinese site. He also said that users could sell their goods for free for the first 3 years. Enter the business model of free. People say, free, how can you make money if you're giving it away for free? Free doesn't work. That's not a business plan, right? Really? Keep going here. Alibaba declared war on eBay, launching a huge army-themed publicity stunt to win Taobao some free press. Or Taobao. I'll call it Taobao. Taobao was very much the underdog. Alibaba had far fewer resources than the enormous eBay, called it standing up to a giant. But Ma and his team knew the Chinese market better than Whitman. While eBay slashed features that Chinese users liked, Taobao made its site flashy and personable. Here's a message here. I'm going to take a mental note on this. The site brought a softer, more human touch to e-commerce that helped it gain consumer trust. It doesn't matter how much money you dump into an area. You got to know the lay of the land, the foundation, the people, the culture. The company won over China's optimistic youth. That's interesting. Now, more people started to switch from eBay's site to Taobao. Taobao.com, let's see, connects me and you and creates a happy life. Had a huge media campaign going on. Alibaba's employees allowed themselves some well-deserved and goofy celebration. The two companies were neck and neck in early 2005. eBay decided to invest $100 million more in each.net. But in the States, investor confidence in eBay started to crumble. Why did it need that huge additional investment? eBay stock value falls sharply. eBay shares drop 19%. So eBay's response to this was, let's throw another $100 million at them. And that scared investors. Like, hey, what's going on here? You guys are burning through a lot of cash. You're not getting the results. Whitman knew that eBay had to win China, but its numbers weren't good. She brought Ma to the company's headquarters in the U.S. to discuss a partnership. Now, here is where a lot of CEOs are at a pitch in the road here. Ma could have easily made a deal with eBay. Probably own part stake in eBay. Walk away with a couple $1 billion. He could have done that, or what we call settling. Let's see what did Jack Ma do. Ma didn't want to work with Whitman and eBay. He sensed she just wanted to buy the market to please U.S. investors. Plus, he had another card up his sleeve. He turned down the deal, in other words. He turned down a deal that would have probably set his family financially free for generations to come. For Ma, it was not about the money, partly. He had a passion. He had a goal. And he stuck to it. Didn't get bought out. Yahoo bought a $1 billion stake in Alibaba. $1 billion. It was one of the biggest deals in internet history. As part of the deal, Alibaba would also be running Yahoo's Chinese services. All seems to be going good, right? The Chinese government approved of the deal and had confidence in Ma. Smiling faces. The mood at Alibaba was euphoric, but, and there's always a but, and I hope you guys understand this. No matter how much success you have, there's always a new challenge that you haven't even thought of, that you can't even fathom, that you can't even predict that's going to come its way towards you. It didn't last long. Years before, Yahoo had helped China's government prosecute a journalist. Ma was constantly put on the hot seat about whether he thought Yahoo did the right thing. The controversy was distracting and brought bad press upon both companies. Distractions. Isn't that what networkers in the U.S. always go through? Things are hard right now, but I got distractions. There's other companies out there I can look at. Other shiny objects. But despite the scandal, Tobo finally passed eBay in market share in 2006. Wow. To seal the deal, Tobo launched one more attack on eBay. It announced that its service would be free for another 3 years. Here we go back to the free concept. Free. It was a bold move, and eBay didn't match it by making its own service free, saying that free is not a business model. Really? Really? Alibaba just went public in the United States, and it's the biggest IPO in the U.S. history. Yeah, free is not a business model. Alibaba believed that because it could make Tobo's service free, it proved how strong the company was. At that point, Ma directed the company to switch gears and stop focusing on the competition with eBay. If we have no enemy in our hearts, we will be invincible, he said. Everyone is wondering how long the competition will last. But the damage was done. eBay shut down its Chinese site by the end of 2006. After, $300 million in investment by eBay into China, a company that had $25 million to start gets the eBay shut down in Chinese sites by 2006. David had beat Goliath. Following that success, There was Alibaba IPO fever. The company took Alibaba.com public in Hong Kong in 2007. That's what initially made him a billionaire, because Jack Ma was worth billions before the company went public. I think it was worth $10 billion before it went public in the U.S. It was an all-around success story for Ma. There was no doubt that Tobo would soon start becoming profitable, like Alibaba.com had. Addressing his employees after the IPO, Ma said that working for Alibaba was so much more than just a job. He believed that the company played a crucial role in shaping the internet era in China. See, this is why he didn't make that deal with eBay. It's a dream. It's a great cause. After that, Alibaba continued to grow and launched new businesses. Of course, it had its ups and downs, bad times and good ones. Throughout it all, Crazy Jack remained Crazy Jack. Here he is dressed as a rock star at the company's 10-year anniversary celebration. 10 years? In 2012, the company bought back its shares of Alibaba.com. It is poised to stage another IPO in the U.S. this week. It chose the U.S. over Hong Kong to help make it a more global company, and because of issues it had with some of Hong Kong's governance policies. It has come a long way since that initial brutal battle with eBay in China. But those early years shaped what Alibaba has become. Those early years shaped what Alibaba has become. I can relate to this on a far, much smaller level by the fact that the company that I represent is 2 years old. Unlike Alibaba, we made a profit our second month in business. We're tripling our income in 2014 over 2013. Most people have never heard of us. They don't know who we are or what we do. And the ones who do have a misconception of who we are and what we do. Nobody thinks that we can make it. Nobody believes in the vision besides us. And since we are at the early stages, reading stories like this is very inspirational. You keep your head down. You believe in your vision and your goals. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say or what the market has to say, and you keep pushing forward. The results will come. It's just a matter of when. Congratulations to Jack Ma and Alibaba, becoming one of the largest companies in the world in 10 years. Why? Because e-commerce is the fastest growing industry on the planet, the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind. Nobody has even heard of Alibaba, and they blew Facebook away. This is just the beginning. The company I represent is called Shopping Sherlock. You want to know what it is? www.don'tgoogleitsherlockit.com. www.don'tgoogleitsherlockit.com. Oh, by the way, we give our product away for free. Yeah, I think that business model works. Bye-bye.